TikTok, YouTube will go live here in a second as people hop on. Welcome, welcome, welcome as you hop on. Today I'm going to talk to, have you been lied to? Have you been lied to? And when I say have you been lied to, I'm not talking about have you been lied to in a relationship? Have you been lied to by a friend? My question is have you been lied to about where you're heading in life? And I'm looking at two different screens. I got TikTok up and I have YouTube up. So please make sure you share this live because we're going in. Make sure you got your pens, your pads. This live is going to be very deep. Some of you may not be able to handle this information. Some of you may log off. Some of you may be like, this dude is way over his head. But I promise you, everything that I share with you on this live today, you can research for yourself. If you weren't on my live last week I talked about is money an illusion? Excuse me, a couple days ago, I talked about is money an illusion? And here's what I mean. Is money truly an illusion? Because very few people who I know that work for money is living the life they want to live. Let me say that again. Very few people who I know that works for money is living the life that they want to live. And here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. So the other day I'm online and I'm watching this video on TikTok. Okay. And I'm starting to see a lot of videos like this. And there's a woman on TikTok literally in tears, bawling, and she was talking about how she has 2 degrees. One is a master degree. She makes $80,000 a year, but she still feels poor. Let me say that again. I'm watching a video on TikTok, and there's a woman talking about how she has 2 degrees. One is a master's degree, and she makes $80,000 a year, and she still feels poor. And after I watched this video, literally, and we all know how the algorithm on TikTok works. The algorithm follows you. The more interest you show in a particular topic, the longer I stayed online, I kept getting a bunch of videos of people talking about they feel trapped financially. They got a degree in this. I've talked to attorneys. I've talked to doctors who said they feel trapped financially. They're just broker at a higher level. I've talked to a judge. Like I've talked to people who society deems as successful, who they're just broker at a higher level. So when I did my live about is money an illusion, and again, just follow me. Very few people who I've met, especially on my side of the fence, because I work with people and people come to me when they are trying to figure their money solutions out. Very few people who lives and works for money are living the life they want to live. So my question is, have you been lied to? Have you been lied to about money? Have you been lied to about how finances work? Have you been lied to about debt? And I'm going to break this down for you here today on today's live. It's going to be mind blowing. And I want you to answer the question in the chat for the 7 people watching this. Do you feel you've been lied to about how to successfully grow your money? Do you feel you've been lied to about how to live the life that you want to live? Let me paint another picture for you. In the past 10 years, you rarely hear or see people around you retire. Okay? Let me say that again. In the past 10 years, and I'm speaking for me, you can answer this question for yourself. I'm rarely seeing people retire. Now, are people being able to get their 40 years on their job and then leave? Yes, but they're going right back to work. And you can't tell me that people leave after 40 years and then go work a greeter job because they're bored. No, that's the lie sometimes people have to tell themselves to get comfortable. See, it reminds me of this old story about a guy who went to see a fortune teller. Okay? This is how most people's lives go when they retire. It reminds me of a guy who went to see a fortune teller. And the fortune teller said, "Hey, I have some good news and I have some bad news for you." And he said, "Okay, give me the bad news first." He said, "Well, you're going to work 40 years of your life and you're going to retire poor." He said, "Man, so if that's the bad news, what's the good news? You'll get used to being poor." Let me say that again. The fortune teller told the guy, "You're going to work 40 years of your life and you're going to retire broke and poor." And he said, "The good news is you will get used to it." See, this is the life that most people have now been living. Very few people actually truly retire. They just put 40 years in that system and then go play another system. Or let me say, because I'm going to break down the difference in the word game and system, they play 40 years in that game and then they leave that game and then go play a less stringent game. So again, my question to you is have you been lied to about money, about income, about taxes, about debt, about wealth, about real estate, about assets, about liabilities? Have you been lied to about those things? And I'm going to break some of those things down here for you today. I'm going to break some of those things down here for you today. So here's the thing. In 1913, our lives as America was changed forever. In 1913, our lives as Americans were changed forever. See, in 1913, December 23rd to be exact, this is when the Federal Reserve was put together. Okay? The Federal Reserve was put together in 1913, December 23rd, 1913. And the Federal Reserve actually had met, excuse me, sorry about that. The Federal Reserve actually came together to say, What is a game we can put together? What is a game we can play? Thank you, hey Anthony. What is a game that we can give to the American public that will make them feel like they're winning, but we will always win? Because let me share something with you. I don't care what game you play, it is always rigged for somebody to win. This is why there's so much talk about sports being rigged, because somebody always will win in a game. But if you don't know the rules of the system, you will never win the game. Let me say that again. In this game, if you don't know the rules of the system, you will never win the game, ever. So in 1913, the Federal Reserve was instituted, and they said, you know what? Let's put together a game for the American public. And the individuals who came together were some of the world's most successful individuals. And guess what industry they all came from? Most of them from banking. This is all a true story. Go and research this. And I'm actually going to give you a book that you can go and read, which I'm going to tell you is probably one of the greatest financial books ever written. So if you stay tuned, I will actually give you the book, because they say if you want to hide something from people, you put it in a book. And it's a book that most people probably have never read before. You can even go download the audio. So in 1913, this game was instituted and put in place that keeps people trapped. Okay. And they keep people trapped because they know and they understand that most people will only do what they're told to do. That's it. So again, if you just hopped on, a couple days ago, I did a live talking about the illusion of money and talking about how as long as you work for money, you'll always be broke. You'll always be poor. And I hate to say it like that, but I really need to paint the picture in order for us to have this translate for us to be able to make different decisions. Okay. So when the Federal Reserve was created, what they did is they went out there, the United States went out there and created these treasury bonds. Okay. Essentially IOUs. Everybody who's following me, type in the chat IOU. They went out and created IOUs, or debt. Okay. I'm telling you, this is going to be mind blowing, and I'm going to tie it all in. The government, the United States, went out there and created debt that they can borrow and give so that they can run the country. Okay. The United States leveraged debt. Okay. That's right. In replace of the gold system, but just follow me. Okay. Okay. So they went out there, got all of these IOUs to control, to run the country. And they said, man, how are we going to pay this back? Aha, taxes. We are going to use the debt that we borrowed and make people pay our debt back in taxes. And we're going to convince people that we're going to create a game of everything that they do, they will get taxed. They're going to work and we're going to tax that money. And then they're going to spend and we're going to tax that money. And then we're going to tax. That's how we'll pay the debt back. And so the Federal Reserve created a game that they made all of us participants in, that the way that they rigged it and that they win is that we work really hard and pay taxes. I'm telling y'all, this is mind blowing. Just follow me. And so the game is, you will go out there and work. And for every dollar you make, we're going to take a percentage. And then we're going to condition you and market to you the American dream so you can work even harder. And so you're gonna want all of these things that mean nothing. You're gonna want that car that depreciates. You're gonna want that nice house in that gated community. You're gonna want to do, we're going to create marketing campaigns, and we're going to market and entice you to want to buy all of these things that mean nothing when you travel the world. And you're going to work really hard for it, because guess what, mister? Guess what, Mrs.? The more hours you work, the more jobs you work, the harder you work, we can tax you more to pay back these Federal Reserve notes. Yeah, go to school and get those good old college degrees. And we're gonna make you think that you're gonna make even more money so we can tax you even more. Bro, some people aren't ready to do what's necessary to be free. Oh, Ray, I'm about to break this down. Watch where I'm going with this. Watch where I am going with this, Ray. See, this the debt game was created for a reason. Let me break this down even more. See, once we learn that art normally is a reflection of reality, we start to look at everything completely different. For example, did you know one of the gentlemen who was in the room when they were putting together this architect plan was the gentleman by the name who actually the character Daddy Warbucks was created from. I actually forgot his name. I had it written down, but I can't find it on my notes. Another individual who it was one of the players in this room was J.P. Morgan. Now watch me tie this all in. Did you know that J.P. Morgan is the character of the game Monopoly? True story. Look it up. Look it up on your phone right now if you want to. The character on the game Monopoly is J.P. Morgan. Again, the system is a game. Well, not system. See, they've indoctrinated all of you all to play a game. And once you understand what a game is, and I'm actually going to read the definition of the word game, you will understand why you always feel like you're losing. Because it's set up for you not to win. Okay? Ray said, I'm playing the game and learning how it works has helped me. Watch this. Let me read the definition of the word game. Let me read the definition. All right, game. A form of play or sport, especially a competitive one, according to rules and decided by skill, strength, or luck. Let me read that again. The definition of the word game is a form of play of sport, a form of play or sport, especially a competitive one, played accordingly to rules decided by skill, strength, or luck. Now, let me ask you all a question. What skill do most of you have when it comes to money? What mental strength do you have when it comes to operating out of this game? Because most people get frustrated when their money is funny. Let me say that again. Most people get frustrated when their money is funny. When your money is not right, you don't have the strength to leave the house. You don't have the strength for the kids. You don't have the strength for your wife. You don't have the strength for your husband. You don't have the strength to make love. Like you typically don't have the strength for anything. And they know that. So they've created a game where they don't even teach you the rules. They've created the rules for you and told you, go play and just come back and pay our taxes. Because we created a game and we're not even going to tell you the rules. But now, here's what's so interesting. The game Monopoly was created. See, they dropped little clues, but we don't pay attention to it because we look at everything as entertainment. But oftentimes, art imitates reality, and we have to start learning how to decipher and have a level of discernment on how these things impact us. But because we're so focused on Lil Wayne not performing at the Super Bowl, we don't even pick up these clues. I see more grown men arguing about Lil Wayne and Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl versus them knowing the difference between debt to income ratio and debt service coverage ratio. If you're a grown man and you don't know the difference between DTI and DSCR, but you arguing about Kendrick and Lil, half the people arguing about who performing at the Super Bowl won't even be at the Super Bowl. And I'm saying it like that because we got to learn how to play within the system, not the game. We have to learn how to play within the system. Now, let me tell you the definition of the word system. Just follow me. They got many people playing the Monopoly app. They don't realize they should be playing and doing it for real. Like straight up. We don't even know that the game of Monopoly was really a learning mechanism for us to be able to learn how to play this in real life. All right, hold on. Let me get the definition of the word system. System, a set of things working together as part of a mechanism. System is a set of things working together as part of a mechanism or an interconnecting network. Can you please share the name of the book? You got to stay for the whole live if you want the name of the book. You got to stay for the whole live. And if I don't get at least 10,000 likes, I'm not sharing the name of the book. I need at least 10,000 likes to share the name of the book. So I need y'all to get to hearting. Okay? Because I see people on the app crying. I see people on the app guessing your age and profile and get 100,000 likes. I'm about to give you some information that will forever change your life. All I'm asking is for some likes. Matter of fact, once you read this book, you won't even be able to sleep because you're going to figure out how bad you've been lied to. You're going to see how much they've lied to us. I need your help, Will. Clyde Green. Clyde, send a direct message. Okay. So now, system is a set of things working together as part of a mechanism or an interconnecting network. Now, when you break down system being an acronym, the word system, and you guys write this down, system stands for saving yourself time, energy, or money. Okay? System stands for saving yourself time, energy, or money. Write that down. System, saving yourself time, energy, or money. So now, what has this game done? The game has been created that you don't know how to save yourself time, you're burning your energy, and you don't make real money. See, they got you so wrapped up in this game that you don't even know how to play within the system. It's two different things. And I'm going to tie all of this in. Just follow me. They got you so wrapped up in this game, you don't know how to play the system. So now, where am I going with this? So this is where I'm going. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Here's where I'm going. So now, again, if the Federal Reserve went out and created and leveraged debt and then made the American public pay it back through taxes, doesn't that tell you that the game is not to make money? Because for every dollar you make, every dollar you work really hard for, and I'm not saying don't work, so just follow me, you're taxed. You're taxed. So you may be saying, well, Will, what is the system for us to play within? I need you guys to write this in the chat. Okay. The system we must learn is how to play the debt system. Everybody type that in the chat, debt system. We have to learn how to play in the debt system. And I'm going to give you some facts on how to play it or why you should play it. See, the debt system was created, which we don't profit from because we play the game of debt. It's a difference between the game and the system. The game life teaches us about life too. I'm loving this segment. Thank you. Yeah, the game of life teaches that too. Okay. So now, the debt system was created for those who learn how to play within that system to benefit. The game of debt was rigged for people who don't know how to operate within the system to lose. I'm telling you, this is all fact. I'm going to give you exactly where you can go and pull this information from. And as soon as I get 10,000 likes, I'm going to tell you where you can read this at in a book. This is all documented information. Okay? So now, think about this. And I want somebody to answer this question. The harder you work, do you really get ahead financially? Now, I'm not saying you can't pay debt or pay bills and take trips. I'm not saying that. But the harder you work, do you really get ahead? See, somebody asked me a question a long time ago and said, Will, what do you think is the standout thing that makes somebody successful? And I say, it's not working hard, it's not being smart, it's your grit. It's your grit. Because your grit is going to position you to remove the emotion of you feeling like you know everything. Your grit is gonna push you to the point to where you're gonna push through any and everything until you figure out what the system on how to win is. Okay. So now, what do I mean by the system? Okay, think about this. If the Federal Reserve was created off of debt, if you take the top, like 4 families control the bulk of the wealth in the world, they operate off of debt. Okay, the banks operate off of debt because guess where the banks get their money from? Somebody answer that question for me. Thank you, Katina. Somebody answer the question for me. Where does the banks get their lines of credit from? How do banks stay in business? Somebody answer that for me. How do banks stay in business? People. Katina said, did you know that savings accounts were set up for people who lack financial education? Savings accounts were set up for people who are trapped in the game. Savings accounts weren't put in place for you to win. So now, again, follow me. And if you're just tuning in, today we're talking about, have you been lied to about how money works, your finances, debt, credit, how to be successful, all of those things. And on December 23rd, 1913, when the Federal Reserve was put in place, which is a private entity. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you exactly where you can read the information from, and it's gonna and in that book, it's gonna even tell you where you can go and even see where it says the Federal Reserve was created here. Okay, the Federal Reserve went out there, borrowed money. They created a fictitious system. They created treasury bonds, and then they said we'll get the American public to pay it back in the form of taxes, and we're going to create this game to make them think that they're going to be getting ahead. Yes, we'll let them buy a house. We'll let them buy Cadillacs and do all of these things. We'll let them feel like they're participating in this game, but we're going to keep them so trapped in this game, and they'll never get ahead because they don't know how to play within the system. And we're not, but we'll drop clues. We'll come out with games like Monopoly and Life, and we'll drop little clues, but we'll distract them with rap music and dances on TikToks and ice bucket challenges, and we'll give them all of the things to keep them distracted so they don't know how to play within this system. We'll let them fight about Kendrick and Drake. We'll let them fight about the Super Bowl performances. We'll let them fight about all of those things. We'll create division between men and women. We'll distract them, because then they don't have time to sit and think about how the system actually works. We're going to distract them because we're going to tell them that debt is bad, even though the entire United States financial infrastructure is based on debt and credit. And we're gonna make it so complicated that we're gonna make it so complicated that we're gonna tell them, even though the thing that makes us money, we're gonna tell them it's bad. Even though we created the United States off of debt, we're gonna tell them debt is bad. And then we're going to we're going to even let them buy things with their credit so they feel like they're a part of our 1% society. And we're going to keep increasing the cost of college and making them think that the more expensive we make college, we're going to make them feel like the more the more elite the education is. But guess what? The same thing that they can learn playing the game of Monopoly, they can't even learn that at Yale. You can learn more playing Monopoly, so we'll put it in a board game. Okay? This is what took place at this meeting. We're going to create a board game that you can learn more from this board game than you will learn at Princeton. Because you're going to say, you know what, I went to Princeton, I went to Berkeley, and you're going to feel so prestigious, and you're going to go out there and get caught up in this game that you'll never win. That's what took place in that meeting. That's what took place in that meeting. So before I break this down, oh y'all not playing about them 10,000 likes. All right, so let me ask you a question before I tie this up and wrap this up. I want you all to type this in the chat and write this down. Who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? That's a question I ask every time I talk, and you may have heard me ask it on another live. But I really want you to ask yourself that question. Such strong information. 98% of people will live and die before even having a clue. Who do you listen to? See, I was talking with a friend about 3 weeks ago, asked him, I said, really need to listen to Will Roundtree. Thank you, Clyde. You, you can have someone come from a household of several siblings, okay? And one person out of that household will make it. Let me say that again. You can have a person who grows up in a household with several siblings, and one person in that house will make it. And when you start to go down the rabbit hole and figure out why that person made it, you can really figure out they made it because who they listened to was completely different. I see y'all. I see we got the 10,000 likes. I'm gonna tell y'all the book. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell y'all the book. y'all gonna make sure y'all learn that. Here's what I mean. That person in that family who grew up among several siblings, when they moved away at a young age, they grew up in an environment that talked about how to play this game of wealth. And the other siblings, they got their information because here's something we may or may not think about when I say who do we listen to. Not only do we listen to our parents growing up, we listen to rappers. We listen to we listen to our community. We listen to our neighborhoods. We listen to social media. Like we listen. So think about everything that indoctrinates the way you think. I once saw something online and it was so funny. They said, pay attention to your man and you'll know who his favorite rapper is. Or pay attention to your woman and you'll know who her favorite rapper is. Because people start to take on the persona of the individuals who they listen to the most. Like, start paying attention. Like, you got 40-plus-year-old men out here acting like, no disrespect, NBA Youngboy. I don't know him, so I'm not disrespecting him. But you got grown men and women in their 40s taking on the persona of 20-year-old rappers. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And so when I talk about who do you listen to from a financial standpoint? Now, I'm going to tie all of this in, and I promise I'm going to give y'all the name of this book. I need y'all to keep them lights going, though, okay? On TikTok, keep the lights going, okay? I'm going to drop the name of the book, I promise you. Let me tie all of this in. I got about 20 minutes. See, when it comes to, and for those who just joined in, let me give you a Cliff Notes version. In 1913, the American public was changed forever because the Federal Reserve was instituted. And the Federal Reserve was put together after having a meeting, and they said, how do we create a game that will keep people trapped and they'll never understand how to get ahead financially? Guess what? We're going to go out there and create the debt system and we're going to even go borrow money by creating fake treasury bonds and notes, and then we'll get the American public to pay it back by them filing taxes. And we're gonna make them think they're getting ahead. We're gonna tell them to go out there and work really hard and that debt is bad. Even though we use debt, we're gonna tell them that it's bad. And so that's what happened. And so then you have people like J.P. Morgan and Daddy Warbucks and all of these people who was in the room. And once you understand that the system, in order for you to get ahead, write this down, you will never get ahead financially if you don't know how to play within the debt system, ever. And when you break down the acronym of the word system, System stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. So why is it that people who are working 2 and 3 jobs are still struggling? Why is it that the single mother who went out and got 2 master degrees is still struggling? Or the 2 income household still feels like they can't get ahead? Why? Because they're playing within the game of money. They're playing from a consumer side of the debt game. But because we haven't been taught, because we don't know who to listen to, because let me share this with you. Let me give you some viewpoints. Why is it that not one person who's your favorite entertainer has put together a life skills academy on how to make money? Yeah, we hear that they are tied to foundations and entrepreneurship give backs, but I've yet to see those programs in curriculums. As a matter of fact, I'm still waiting to see the curriculum system that your favorite rapper, your favorite athlete has put together. Because the it's a game. But see, we have to learn this system, but we can't learn the system until we understand why it was put in place. We can't. So let me tell you the name of the book. Let me tell you the name of the book. The name of the book is The Creator of Jekyll Island. Write that down. Type that in the chat. The name of the book is called The Creator of Jekyll Island. And if you know anything about Jekyll Island, which is on the southern tip of the state of Georgia, which is where they all came together privately to put together this masterful game plan. And what they did was they understood that the American people, you will never get to understand that financial prosperity that most of you want until you learn how to operate within the system that we created, which is debt. And here's what I mean. Okay. Who is the book by? Where can we get it from? Okay. Now, Clyde, this is a teachable moment. Google it. All right. I need people to start learning how to be resourceful. Okay. We can Google Lil Wayne's net worth, but we should be able to Google who the author of the book is. Okay. Sometimes I have to teach us how to learn. And that's what I'm not coming at you, Clyde. I'm really just using this as a teaching moment because this is how we stay trapped in this game. Let me read the definition of the word game again, and then you'll understand why I had to answer the question that way. Okay? Definition of game. So the definition of the word game, a form of player sport, especially a competitive one, according to rules and decided by skill, strength, or luck. We got to start learning how we got to start learning skills. We have to. Showtime said, just ordered the book. Yeah, y'all go put on their reviews that Will Roundtree sent you there. Tell them they need to send me a check. So we have to start learning the skill set it takes to play within the system. Like, here's something that blows me away. And this is just like an overview of this is just a viewpoint I was thinking about one day. All right. It blows my mind how black people will come on my page and get upset and say, you charge for information. But then you'll have somebody like a Dave Ramsey who is trying to teach people how to get out of debt, and he charges. But here's the thing, and I'm not coming at Dave. Most of the people who tell you not to play within the debt system don't teach you how to make money either. Why is that? Because the game benefits the ones who created the game. See, I'm trying to show you how the debt system was created in order for you to make money. And I've come and there's enough social proof for people who leverage debt, that which is why they are where they are financially. Let me give you an example. Okay. So on my last live, when I broke down, yes, George Edward Griffin, the author. Thank you. Okay. So y'all working together now. I love that, Cheryl. Okay. So now on my last live, when I talked about is money an illusion, I said that JP Morgan, which owns Chase, that's one of their assets. Okay. JP Morgan, write this in the chat, is $441 billion in debt. Write that down. 441 billion with a B dollars in debt. So this information is going in circle. Not sure what that means, guns after work. Okay. But they control $4.13 trillion in assets. I already have it in my library. I got to read it when I get the opportunity. Okay. JP Morgan is $441 billion in debt, but they control $4 trillion in assets. Can you listen to the book for free on YouTube? Yep, you can actually even listen to the book for free on YouTube. Absolutely. See, that's being resourceful. Oh, my mama said that on TikTok. Shout out to Oh My Mama who said you could even listen to it for free. So now, so when you subtract 441 billion from 4 trillion, you still got $3 trillion in profits. Okay. So now let me bring that down to common folk terms. Okay. Let me bring that down to common folk terms. Let me ask you all a question. How much do you think the average person has in student loan debt? How much do you think the average student loan debt is in North America right now? Cheryl said 80,000. Jocelyn, I think I pronounced her name right, said 20,000. How much do you think the average student loan debt is? Randa said 20 to 40. Clyde said 200,000. Your girl Day said 100. So it's about $50,000 to $100,000. That's the average. Okay, it's about 50 to 100,000. Now follow me. Okay, follow me. Yeah, Randa hit it on the head. The U.S. government's highest asset is student loan debt. Again, debt. Even the government understands that debt is how you make money. But just follow me. Follow me. I love it that y'all are being resourceful here. So now, let's just say the average student loan debt is 100,000. Okay. Of that $100,000 in student loan debt, how much in assets does it help you control, and how much money do you make from it? Let me say that again. Of that student loan debt, whatever dollar amount it is, how much in assets does it help you control, and how much money does it help you make? Okay, how much money does it help you make? Chris said $0. Anybody else wants to take a stab at it? Of that student loan debt you have, how much in assets does it help you control? I'm not saying how much in assets you have. I'm saying how much does it help you control, and how much money does it help you make? Now, If you're talking about you got the degree and it helped you get the job, I'm not talking about that. Because what I'm trying to paint the picture of is how, the difference in the debt game that the US government created that you're going to participate in versus the debt system that I'm trying to get you all to learn how to play. All right. Front said, I got 90,000 in student loan debt. I got it down to 58 and I got no assets or perks from it. That's common. That is common. So now check this out. Check this out. Write these numbers down. Okay? Write these numbers down. Imagine if I taught you how to go and get a line of credit for $100,000. Write that down. Imagine if I taught you how to go get a line of credit for $100,000. Knowledge is great. Being resourceful is powerful. You have to be able to get the knowledge. Okay, write $100,000 down. Imagine if I taught you how to go and get $100,000. I didn't say work for $100,000, and I didn't say save $100,000. I said, imagine if I can show you how to go and get $100,000 on a line of credit. Okay. Now, what if I told you that at $100,000, okay, you can control at minimum a $500,000 asset? Okay. I didn't say $100,000 mortgage, guns at work. I need y'all to just listen sometimes. All right. What if I told you I'm going to go and show you how to get a line of credit for $100,000 and we're going to use that to buy and control. You notice I didn't use the word own. I said control a $500,000 asset. Okay. And I'm not talking about a business or franchise. We're only talking about assets that produces a predictable cash flow here today. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to go and get a $100,000 line of credit. And we're going to use that to control a $500,000 asset. How much money does my student loans help me make? How much assets does it generate? And so from that $500,000 asset, it is going to make you in positive cash flow. That's not the purpose of the study student loan. Now, I'm not talking about student loans right now, guns, and it may be a delay in our exchange. Okay. Now, that $500,000 asset that you control is going to make you, worst case scenario, $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year. That's on the low end. Okay, that's on the extreme low end. It can be as much as $10,000, which is going to put you in a position to make $120,000 a year. But now follow me. Follow me. This is the mind-blowing part right here. This is where I got chills when I started to learn this system that they put in place that we've been lied to about not knowing how to play. Okay? So now I can now take this $500,000 asset that I control, I didn't use the word own, and I can now borrow against this asset. I can now borrow against this asset. Who can tell me what is 80% of 500,000? Who can tell me what is 80% of 500,000? Who can tell me what is 80% of 500,000? Thank you, Katina. So now I can go and borrow $400,000 from this asset. Now, check this out. That $400,000 that I borrowed is tax free. Everybody type in the chat tax free. I can now play within the system because now I'm not participating in the game because it, first of all, I will probably never be able to save $400,000, but now I can play within the system where I can now operate to be able to get access to money completely tax free by playing within the debt system. Which again, when you break down the acronym of system, it stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. But here's the even bigger play within the system. Who's paying back against that $400,000? The people living in that asset. Because guess what? People have to live somewhere because 95% of people are still stuck in the game. They don't even know this system exists. They don't even know this system exists. So here's what I tell people, and this is why I ask, who do you listen to? I do not take advice from anybody who doesn't know how to play within this system. I don't take advice from nobody who doesn't leverage debt that has assets. And I'm not saying that they're bad people or that they don't know what they're talking about. The reason I say that is because we as people will go out there and get advice from people who don't own no real estate, who don't understand how the debt game plays based upon the system that was set up for you to not be able to participate. They will tell you to go and work really hard and work 3 jobs, and yet yet they asking to borrow money from you. Yes, I'm talking about real estate. And here's why I'm talking about real estate. Because those very same people who invented this game built the system off of real estate. Go look at the Rockefellers, go look at Daddy Warbucks, go look at JP Morgan. All of them built the system off of real estate. So why is it that we continue to fall into the same trap and get stuck in the game, and we don't understand how to save ourselves time, energy, and money? This is why when we retire, we got to go right back to work. You should not be 70 working at McDonald's. I'm sorry. You can't tell me you're doing that because you're bored. No, you're doing that because you're broke. And I'm not saying that as a diss. What I'm saying is that we have to stop taking advice from people who don't know the system. And if they don't understand anything about the Federal Reserve, about Jekyll's Island, about how the tax system was created, if they cannot articulate that to you, I don't take advice from them. Sorry, mama. I actually teach my mother this information. So there is not one troll on this internet that can unwaver my confidence in this game, because I actually play the game. Let me tell you why people become trolls. It's because they're trying to figure out why they're stuck. And as opposed to just asking for a helping hand or going to research it themselves, they get mad. That stuff don't bother me. It's like Teflon. Look, I'm okay. I know how to play the system. I operate at it at a very high level. And my students learn how to operate this at a high level. Isn't that right, Chris? It ain't no troll on this earth that can make me question the game that I'm playing, because it's documented. It's just that your favorite rapper been lying to you. Hollywood has been lying to you. Your mama, your daddy, your student counselor. Yeah, see, did y'all know student counselors at colleges get incentivized to push you into programs? They get bonuses. Oh yeah, go into being a whatchamajiggy. Yeah, they get a bonus. The more people there was an article. Somebody go and find this article for me. That USC actually created this fake psychology program to make money. Nobody in that program was getting jobs. Again, a game. They created a game. See, here's the difference, because I actually dropped out of college. Here's the difference. I never let schooling get in the way of my education. Because most people who keep going to school, they're not educated. I'll run circles around them. See, I continue to educate myself despite me dropping out of college. And success leaves clues. But unfortunately, we got too many people searching after the wrong clues. Let me give you some more viewpoints. I'm a real estate agent and agree with you. I'm working to get where you say we need to be to create generational wealth. Let me give you some viewpoints because I got a few more minutes and I got to hop off here so I can enjoy my Sunday. Okay. Follow me. Best live ever. Thank you. I appreciate that. Outside of working really hard, okay, outside of working really, really, really hard and saving our money and doing all of the things that still have not worked, what do you think is a lot of people's retirement plan? Yo, when I share this with y'all, it's gonna blow y'all minds. What do you think? What's the name of that book? The Creator of Jekyll Island. Thank you. What do you think is a lot of people's retirement plan financially? I'm not saying everybody's, but if you had to guess, Cheryl said they don't have one. Cheryl, which is true, but there is something that a lot of people participate in which they think is their retirement plan. It's not Social Security, Chris, because we all know it won't even be available for most of the people in our generation by the time they quote unquote get to that retirement age. Thank you, Katina. The lottery. Did you the lottery is most people's retirement plan. Think about it. Think about it. This this blows me away. Think about this. Has anybody ever met somebody that gambles and that's lost most of their life, but will still continue to gamble? Yo, think like let me ask that question again. Does anybody on here know anybody who gambles? Whether they're playing scratch offs or buying lottery tickets or go to the casino. Does anybody on here know someone who, or sports betting, that gambles and has never won any life changing money? Let me say that again. They've never won life changing money. Yeah, they may win 1,000 here. Even I know people who might win $10,000, but that's not life changing money. Let me tell you how the casinos work. Because if you don't know, I live in Vegas. Okay, let me tell you how casinos work. The casino will let you win $10,000. Okay, the casino will let you win $10,000, and then what they'll do is they'll come out and see you. Mimi said my ex-husband. So let me tell you how the casinos work. The casinos will let you win. They'll let you hit a night, smack them, 10,000, 20, $15,000, 30,000. That's not life-changing money. It sounds like it. But so they'll put you up in a suite. They'll bring you the finest drinks. They'll bring you whatever it is you need. If you want women, if you want men, if you want drugs, if you want, they'll bring it all to you. Okay? And if they don't have it on the premises, they'll go find it. True story. And then they'll even say, Mr. and Mrs., we want to bring you back to Vegas. And then they'll bring you back to Vegas because they know you will spend 50,000. They know you will spend 3 times what you won. chasing, trying to get that 10, 20, or $30,000 that you won the first time. See, most people think that gambling is their way out. This is why sports betting is so big. $14 billion with the B was spent on sports betting last month. And this is by poor people. 14 billion with the B. And that's across all ethnicities. This isn't just a black thing, white thing. This is people. Because it's poor people in every ethnic background. Most people's retirement plans is hitting a lick. It's not a 401k because it's already been said. The creator of the 401k said that the 401k wasn't put in place for the person who was paying into it to win. The 401k was a tax plan for the employees. Excuse me, for the employers. See, this is how I know we're trapped in the game and we're not playing in the system. The stocks is not a retirement plan because it's something you can't control. Yeah, you can make money from it. And I invest in stocks. See, once you learn this information, your life will never be the same. Once you learn this information, you may not even be able to sleep at night because you're going to figure out that you are born on this earth and set up for failure. This is why very few people know anybody who's living the life they want to live. And I'm not talking about your uncle who got that big house with a Mercedes. Because if he got to get up and go to work for it every day, he ain't living the life that he want to live. Let me tell you again. That high paid executive at your company that you admiring, trust me, he not even satisfied because he can't take off. He can't miss a day of work. He got to come in and babysit his staff. If you don't know how to play within the debt system, it's impossible to get to where you want to be. I'm just telling you. Let me paint that picture even clearer for you. Why is it that people who win the lottery go broke? What up, D? Devon, man, appreciate you. Why is it that so many lottery winners go broke? Because they're trapped in the game of money and haven't learned the system of debt. See, you're supposed to take the lottery winnings and then go play the game. And then go get into the system. Here's something that blows me away. So we need to own nothing and control everything. Here's something that blows me away. Why is it that when people go out there and hit a quote unquote lick, whether it's from gambling, the lottery, sports betting, even if you out there doing PPP loans, Cash App scams, chase glitches, why is it that once y'all get that money, y'all still go broke? I don't know one scammer who owned nothing. Which is why they got to keep scamming. So what does that tell you? It has nothing to do with the money. If you don't own anything, if you don't know how to play the system, if you don't control assets, you will always stay at a deficit financially. Which is why, as I wrap up here, if you don't understand how to play and operate within the system of leveraging debt, you will always be poor. And POUR is an acronym that stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why people have to work until they die, unfortunately. As sad as it is, this is why instead of living your golden years doing what you want to do, you have to work behind the golden arches. No disrespect. As long as you work for money, you will own nothing and control nothing. But once you understand how to operate within the system that is the entire basis of how the federal government was set up, you will continue to operate how you operate, continue to feel financially trapped. And just like the fortune teller told the man who went to see about his fortune, who told him, I have good news and I have bad news. And he said, give me the good news, the bad news first. You will work forever and be poor. And he said, well, sheesh, well, what's the good news? You'll get used to it. And so as long as you all don't understand these abstract concepts, not only will you stay poor, but you will get used to it. And poor, I'm not talking about your economics. I'm saying passing over opportunities repeatedly. This is why I tell people, I don't come on here and try to convince people to work with me, to join my programs. I'll be fine because I know the system. Trust me, I'll be fine. I come on here to share information and tell you, you don't even have to believe a word Will Roundtree say. Go and research it for yourself. Go and research it for yourself. And there is no question you can throw at me to try to trip me up, because I show people the success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. It's funny where you'll have somebody, like it's this guy named Dave Smith. Hopefully you're watching this. Who will create several fake pages to troll me, where he will talk about how everything you're talking about is a scam. And I'm like, so how is real estate a scam? I'm not selling you real estate. So how is real estate a scam? No, what's a scam is that we wake up every day and we believe our own lies of what we think is going to take for us to get to prosperity. That's the scam. What's a scam is we think that, and this one is directed to Dave. What's a scam is that we think at 43 that somebody's going to sign you as a rapper, not knowing that the only way you make it in the music industry is you have to pay to get into the music industry. Write this down. There's a price of admission for your success. And if you're not willing to pay that price of admission, you will never make it. And to prove it, the price of admission for the life you want is college. If you don't pay to go to college, or this is the game they tell you, if you don't pay to go to college, you won't get the job you want. But nobody questions that. Nobody questions that. We'll keep going right back to school and paying for the price of that admission, but not knowing there's a price of admission in everything else we do. This is why people gamble. This is why people ran to Chase to try to steal money from Chase. This is why people was committing fraud, doing PPP. This is why people inflate and create fake expenses to try to get a higher refund on their taxes. People do all of the things to create people do all of the negative things. People know how to do all of those things to manipulate the system to get $5,000, $10,000, $6,000 and still end up with nothing. as opposed to learning how to play within the system. And this is why it's not one troll on this internet can take me off of my path of understanding. Because I can assure you, you probably ain't never even cracked the books of understanding. Not a book, but crack the books of understanding. All right, let me get off this app before y'all start adding that dude. Or just adding the wrong one. Oh, man. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. There is a price of admission for success. All right, I'm about to go enjoy my Sunday. It's only 4:17 here in Las Vegas. I haven't eaten, so I'm about to go eat. Using I'm about to go eat. Every time I listen to you blow my mind. Thank you. I'm in Orange County. Gotta watch the replay. Yeah, y'all go check out this replay. Y'all go check out this replay. So with that being said, thank y'all for getting me to the 10,000 likes on TikTok. Will, you can't want more for someone than they want for themselves. You 1,000% right on my mama. You are 1,000% right. But that's why, and anybody who works with me, and my mentees will tell you, I push them to go and be great. I don't want it for them. I push them. I tell them, y'all learn how to use Google. Y'all will Google y'all favorite celebrities' address. Y'all will Google y'all will Google not safe for work link. Y'all all up and down Twitter looking for somebody's not safe for work link, but we won't Google what is debt and how debt makes us money. Come on, y'all, we gotta do better. So, with that being said, go out, have a great week. Let's go learn how to play within this system. I will be back in LA this week for another meeting. So if you're around LA, hopefully you'll pull up to the meeting. Let me see. Man, Will, everything you say is a bar. Got to go buy 20 notebooks. Learning a lot. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Brent. Showtime 97. What up? What up, Brian? What up, Brian? Yeah, we here. We here, y'all. We here. And so, with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Y'all go out and enjoy y'all Sunday. All right, peace.